everyone, and welcome back to another video on my channel. Something has happened recently. My Homelab router died. It was still young, 14 years isn't that old, and it was my first router. Welp, what do I do now? I can't go without that. Wait, unless there's another way. OpenSense or pfSense. Well folks, this is my first, now defective, Homelab router, also known as the Netgear N300 gigabit router or the JNR 3210. It has had a good life. It has a 2.5 GHz Wi-Fi range with 1 WAN and 4 LAN ports, as well as a switching capacity of 300 megabytes per second. It's been a router my grandmother gave me completely for free after switching her provider plan. And as such, I have operated it from 2019 all the way till 2026, which I think is a pretty good run. And it gave me the ability of booting PXE for the first time, because our primary router blocks those ports for whatever reason. I still don't know to this day actually. But anyways, I wouldn't have noticed that it failed, but one weekend I was downloading a game and it was fine to begin with, but after 2 minutes of the native 500 megabytes a second that I'm supposed to get, started becoming so slow that even my Discord call, yes, my Discord call I was in at the time, started lagging. And it's like, imagine if you have bad internet and a ping of 500 constantly. Well, I thought at first it was my Fritz extender, but later it turned out to be the router, because I validated with the TP-Link switch that I made a video about, and well, the speeds were fine. It was just the router's switching chip giving up, and so I built this. This is one of the PCs from the rescue. It's an Acer Veritron with an Intel Pentium. No wait, wrong script page. This is the Acer Veritron with an i5 4590 with 16 gigabytes of DDR3 RAM and two 1 gigabit NICs, one being the onboard, the other one being one over PCIe through a card that I bought. It has been just a quick hot swap solution to get me back online, and it has done great. But today, wait, what's this? A Supermicro firewall server that I paid too much for just to future-proof? Oh, good thing that's here. I guess it's bye to the Veritron. This, my friends, is the new router. It's a Supermicro... I can't stay serious, sorry guys. It's a Supermicro server CSE 505A1SRI-2558F. Atom, or for short, a Supermicro firewall, and in this video we are going to be setting it up for my Homelab. So the problem of no router is finally getting solved. So let's get into it.
You're watching BZG TV.
Okay, so today we are unboxing this server. There we go. There it is. Before we now turn it on, let's look inside of it. And I'm really excited to see what it looks like from the inside, but the front, I mean, it's not a heavy server, like don't get me wrong, you can pick it up here with 2 fingers on each side, but so let's now open her up. I'm kind of thrilled to see a server like this. I wasn't expecting this. Now I don't know which things go where, or at least I don't think I do, but yeah, the seller stated there was a missing screw, and I found the site, it's right over there, but it's fine. So we're gonna open it up. Okay, let's get that screw out. There we go. Okay, now trying again. What's inside the Supermicro router? Ta-da! That heatsink is tiny! This is a normal Supermicro heatsink. And I know you're not being fooled and stuff. There is actually a serial number on it. On, I think, which side? I think this one. Or somewhere on the side it had a serial number. But that's actually funny because this thing is a lot smaller than I thought it would be. So I actually prepared a solution of some kind. I prepared a fan. But this fan is like twice the size of this heatsink. And even before you say like, yeah, this is a small CPU anyway, what we're gonna do first, all right, before turning it on, we're going to quickly swap thermal paste. Yeah, right about what you would expect for a small server board. I mean, this thing is tiny, but still around about what you would be expecting after several years. This stuff wears down. You can see it doesn't create a proper seal, and when this stuff wears down, it always ends up in a weird mess, and that's also not good for thermals, so good thing I caught it before turning it on. Okay, so now I've opened this thing up. We removed the cooler. Now it's nice and clean. So it does have a power supply fan, which I just heard. If this works, she'll post. If not, then... Wait, before I do this, I'm gonna quickly shut her down. I know she's not gonna like it, but though it was a relay click, so maybe it was good. Okay, let me just, I wanna try something real quick. I wanna plug in this fan. I don't know if she has enough power to drive it, but I think she does. Okay, so after a quick RAM reseat, she appears to boot once again. There is OpenSense actually installed on her, or I think, was it Open or pfSense? I think it was probably pfSense actually. But she posts, despite you can't see this. And so let's let this thing boot up. This is pfSense. But wow, this is quiet. Like, the fan is even spinning slow. That's how quiet it is. And if that's gonna be how loud she gets, I mean, well, you know, there's no load on it, so it makes kind of sense. But like, oh look, there's wow, those are bright. Wow. Okay, those are actually bright. But look at that, like, works right out the get-go without any issues. Works just fine. Reset it, I guess. Maybe that could be what's happening. Now, something that's a little upsetting me is there's no riser there, so I couldn't even go like 10 gig. But that's for the future problem me to figure out. Oh, there we go. It adjusted. Okay. WAN LAN gigabit 1 10.192.168.75.4. So this thing was definitely either a part of a business or part of a Homelab that they later then retired. Before we go any further, I'm gonna try to, well, this fan doesn't really move. It needs cooling, man. If it overheats, or like if it's hot in here, you don't want to overheating. But one thing I want to do real quick is I want to go into the BIOS, because even though it post beeps, it's now a while later, right? So I'm taking apart the server, or at least partially, and I also put a fan onto it. Well, guess what? I ended up finding the SSD, right? So I decided I remove the SSD caddy and take a look at what it is. Well, I kid you not, it's one of these Samsung, it's one of these boys. And I have to admit, while I'm very thankful the seller gave me this drive, I'm gonna be sneaking this for something that I am planning in the future, because I need storage. So I'm gonna be sneaking that and replacing it with one of these. Now, you might remember this one from a couple of videos prior where this was in my T440p. Now, that didn't end up happening for multiple reasons. One of them was Linux is great, yeah, but I decided I wanted something that was a little better, right? So I ended up being like, yeah, you know what, this is good enough for a router, and as you can see, it is also only 128 gigabytes compared to this being a 250 gigabyte. So yeah, and that is what I'm going to be installing. So let's install the SSD right now. Okay, so she's at least turning on. The firewall is booting up, even though it takes a while, but she is starting. Pretty good so far. I at least hope it is good, but it should be. I mean, take a look at like this stuff as an example right here. Like these LEDs, they will be lit like once I plug in my Ethernet. So this is IPMI, which I'm probably also gonna plug in, but these ports will be eliminated once I eventually get around to plugging them in, and I will even get a riser card for this one day, as I said, because I have one of these 10 gigabit NICs, those 2-port low profile ones, even though I will need to get a high bracket adjuster. That was something that I miscalculated for, but that doesn't matter. Okay. I guess we're right now still cycling postcodes. There she goes. That was the noise of success. She's all back together now, and yeah, with that, I guess I'm gonna end the video this time in a personal form. I will set this up and give you my final thoughts on it once it's configured. But I still thank you guys a ton for watching. If you liked the video, hit like, maybe consider sharing it with a bunch of your friends. If they like server stuff, that is. Maybe while you're down there, also consider joining the Discord. The link is down in the video description if you haven't done so already. I would appreciate it if you did though, and join the server. It makes my community on Discord stronger, and it also helps other people if they have any questions about any videos or any specific devices. But with that being said, I'm really thankful that I got this thing set up. It's right now just booting up, which doesn't take as long as it did before. For whatever reason, my pfSense install that was on here, it took forever to boot up. This thing doesn't take forever, but I might need to reassign some interfaces to it, but that can all be done within a screen which is going to be hooked up to it. But yeah, thanks a ton for watching. If you liked it, maybe consider sharing it with some of your friends, and let's go over to my final thoughts. Did you really think I was done with the video? Well, no, we are continuing. This is day 2. Today, we are building the first rack inside of my Homelab. This will be the rack where all my servers will live in. Yeah, we already started. We were struggling with some screws in here that kept falling out, but now it's all good to go. And yeah, so I'm just gonna do a transition. 3, 2, 1. The rack is finished. It took a very long time. We were at this for like, I don't know, let me ask. This for like 2 hours. Me and my mom building out this ginormous rack. Now you can see that these side panels are completely like proper stuff, even like have key locks and everything, even have the keys for them, which I can show you. At least I want to show you the opening thing of this rack because it's very cool. So you twist, you push in, this comes out, turn it to the left, boom. And now we're inside of the rack. and there is an instruction manual. We had to not follow this instruction manual. It sucks. Don't use it. Just let your instincts kick in and do it yourself. If you have any questions about it, I guess don't buy this. But with that, I'm gonna conclude the video. Thanks a ton for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye! I want to thank you guys for the support recently. We now have 300 subscribers, and my T440p video has 13,910 views, which is amazing, and also 543 likes, and I'm very thankful for that. You guys are awesome. If you haven't done so already, check out the Discord. The link is down in the video description, and if you have something to say, leave me a comment. I always read them after the video goes live. And with that, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!